your hostess with the mostest, Mojo Medium, aka Susan Morrow Johnson. You'll find me on the web at mojomedium.com. And the Make It So show is all about manifestation and law of attraction. Manifestation means creating what you really want in your life and stop settling for the same old dookie. So we want to get rid of the dookie, right? And in fact, interestingly enough, that's what I'm going to talk about today is dookie. Yeah. First of all, I want to point out something in the description of this video, which is that we have a training coming up tomorrow, and it's going to be on a special private Facebook page. So you have to register for it. It's only $33. And why would you want to register for this training? Well, let me tell you. I'm going to be training you to do my hypnomagic meditation. And I call it hypnomagic because it is a form of self-hypnosis, which meditation is anyway, but this is really kind of like getting hypnotized. And I've been hypnotized a number of times for past life regression, but that's not what this one is about. I'm not a hypnotherapist, I want you to know that. But I have developed this meditation, divinely inspired, for you so that you can learn how to really create well. Now, I really recommend that you have the whole program, the Make Magic with Mojo program. But the Hypno Magic meditation will just your second last year. And you can work on creating anything or improving anything that you want. But at that moment, I was wanting to make more money. And that was November 2nd. I did it again on November 3rd, and I was already starting to receive more funds. And I made more in my business in November than I did in October. Not only did I make more, I made 3 times as much as I had made in October. So this stuff works. I know what I'm doing. Yes, I'm an expert, and I want you to be able to do it too because it's cool. Okay, the other thing I want to mention to you is yes, I wanted you to help me figure out which glasses I should wear. These are one of my new pairs, and my old ones, my old turquoise ones that you're probably used to seeing me in, they broke the other day. There's a crack here and the lens won't stay in. And so I'm probably going to fix those, but they're never really going to be the same. And you know what's really cool is I get these from Zenny Optical online. They're super cheap. So I had already gotten these when the turquoise ones broke. And I like these and I think that I'll be fine today. I'm wearing a navy and white floral print skirt with the pale yellow polo. Very preppy looking. So I want to wear something preppy but also kind of cool, right? I always want to look cool. So this is one choice, the pale green, the soft green. It looks nice, makes my eyes look green. I know. You didn't tune in for a fashion show, did you? Now, these are probably going to replace my old turquoise ones. They are more, they're more blue-green than they look on my screen. I don't know how they look on your screen. So that's a possibility. And I've got on navy, so I wouldn't say they go really well because there's too much green in them. Another option would be these. I think these are really fun. Okay, they don't look so fun, but they're a great color. They're a great color, kind of a magenta. They read kind of burgundy or maroon on the screen, but they're kind of a magenta in person, kind of an azalea color, really pretty. And then I have my old ones from last year, which are purple and black, which I don't think purple and black so much with the navy. And yeah, I think maybe not. So I'm going to put on the magenta ones, and then we're going to talk about the Dookie. Okay? Alrighty, there we go. Now, can you see me? I can see you. All right, let's talk about the Dookie. This is something that actually um, I've got a blog post about this from a long time ago called "Why Did I Create That?" Is that right? Do I have that right? Yeah. Why or no? Why would I attract that? And so it talks about what I'm talking about today, and that is what I would call counter manifestation. And some people like, is it? I think it's Neil Donald Walsh talks about. Um, gosh, isn't that funny? I've read so many authors and teachers, I don't even remember which one said this, but they talked about the law of opposites and how sometimes when you're trying to create or bring something into your life, that you'll get the opposite first and why that is. And so it's kind of along the same lines, but I'm really talking about the Dookie, that you're settling for the same old Dookie. That's what I talk about, right? I want you to create what you want in your life instead of settling for the same old Dookie. So what is the Dookie that you're settling for? Well, that means anything that's in your life that you don't really like, that doesn't spark joy, in the words of Marie Kondo. If you don't like your job, or you don't like your house, or you don't like um, your body, which really I encourage you to enjoy what you have and recognize what works and the blessings that it gives you. But that's another story. If you want to lose weight, if you want a new place to live, if you want a new job, if you want a new car, if you want a better relationship or a better boss or more money, then those are the things that you want to create. Those are the good things that you want to create. So the opposite then, that's the Dookie. If you have a job you don't like, why did you attract that? Now, step back a bit with me, and remember that the law of attraction is always in effect. It's always in force. It's always working. The force, source energy, God, universe, higher self, whatever that is, your subconscious is working on it. The universe is working on it. They have one answer, and it's yes. So whatever you're thinking and believing and feeling, that's what you're going to get. So when you go, man, I'm so fat, I wish I could lose some weight, which is kind of like I feel sometimes these days. I wasn't always quite this heavy. As you say that to yourself, and you think that to yourself, and you feel that, you are reinforcing it. So let's get back to why would I attract that? Why would I attract that Dookie, right? Let's say it's something like not just unpleasant or doesn't spark joy in your life, but something that is like bad, really bad. Like, let's talk about a car wreck, for example. Okay, let's say you've had a car wreck. You're not hurt, but damn it, your car's banged up. It was the other guy's fault, so you didn't have to pay for it, so that's good. But still, you got to take care of your car, and you don't have rental car on your insurance, and so you're having to hitch a ride or figure out how to pay for a rental car yourself, and bleh, it's terrible. Okay, so why would you attract that? There are two really good reasons. Thank you, Erlene. I'm glad that you like the glasses. These are the ones I chose for today out of my growing glasses wardrobe. since mine broke, I've gotten some more. Okay. Where were we? Yes. So the two reasons that you might have attracted that Dookie. In this case, we're talking about a car wreck. So reason number one is everything has a message. It's all reflecting back to you what you are thinking and feeling, right? So you may not be trying to attract a car wreck on purpose. In fact, who would, unless you're in a demolition derby? But it happened. And so what you've got to do is say, what was I thinking and feeling that caused that, or that brought that to me? What's the message there that's telling me I'm thinking in a way that's opposed to what I want? You see what I mean? So when you have the car wreck, and using that just as an example, you go, okay, so what was that message? What's the message there? I'm feeling like, maybe I'm feeling like I don't deserve to have a car. I'm not worthy of this car that I'm now having to have fixed. Or maybe I'm feeling like, oh, here's a good one. Maybe the reason you had the car wreck is that, even though it was the other guy's fault, your concentration is off. And this is a message saying, hey, you need to be paying attention. Pay attention to what you're doing physically, mentally, emotionally. What are you doing? Pay attention. I had this experience the other day, and this was such a tiny little Dookie that I attracted. But it's a great example of this. I was driving down to a nearby town down south. I was driving down to pick up my father's death certificates. This was a month after he died. It took that long to get them in. And so I went to go pick them up. And that morning I had showered and shaved and shampooed and, my usual. And I'm driving down there, and I was actually in a really good mood because even though this was a sad occasion, I was happy to be getting the death certificate so I could start taking care of some things after a month. And I was also going to stop at Buc-ee's. Now, if you don't live in Texas, you don't know about Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is a convenience store made in heaven. I was going to say on steroids, but that's not even right, because they took all the good stuff about a convenience store and made it better, and they took all the bad stuff about a convenience store and got rid of it. So they have 1,000 pumps for gas out front, and then petrol, you people in Australia call it, I think. And then you go inside, and they have got, now there are two different kinds. There are smaller ones that don't have all this, and then there are the big ones. But they all have sparkling clean restrooms, hand sanitizer everywhere, and they've been doing this for years, long before the coronavirus. Hand sanitizer everywhere. Bathrooms that are, the stalls have full walls down to the floor. It's totally private, and it flushes itself, and it's hand sanitizer on the wall in the stall. There's hand sanitizer out in the bathroom, places to wash your hands that are automatic, the soap's automatic, the dryers, everything. There are no doors, there's just a loop. I mean, the bathrooms are spectacular. And it's, as if that wasn't enough, they also have they have soda fountain machines that are just like every soda you can think of. They have ices. They have candies that they make of all kinds in bags, and then all kinds of other candies that other people make, like, I don't know, a bit of honey and chocolate covered pretzels. And they've got a deli and barbecue, good barbecue. They've got fudge. Oh my gosh. They have home decor. They have things for camping. It's an amazing place. It's like going into a museum. And they always have great customer service. And I think they start their workers at $13 an hour, which is pretty good. So I was pretty happy to be going to Buc-ee's because we don't have one right here. This one is on the way to Galveston, going south from here to Galveston. So, okay. It's a sad occasion. I'm picking up my dad's death certificates. It's a happy occasion. I get to go get fudge at Buc-ee's and experience the Buc-ee's, ambiance. Well, I was driving down there, and I had on knee-high boots. And I was noticing, I'm driving along, and I was noticing it felt like one of my legs was hairy and the other one wasn't. So I reached down in my boots, and sure enough, I had only shaved one leg. So that was kind of weird. Okay, this is an example of the car wreck. The message to me was, your concentration is off. Your father died a month ago. You need to be paying closer attention than you usually do to everything that you do. So that's an example of a message that might come with this car wreck that you have attracted into your life. All right? The other thing that comes from attracting Dookie is that sometimes there's something attached to that is good. It's something that you do want. Again, with the example of the car wreck, what if your car got totaled and you had to get a new car and you'd been wanting a new car? Now, I'll tell you a little trick about that. If you get what you want in a bad way, in a Dookie way, that means that you want it really, really bad, but you really, really don't feel worthy of it. Okay? For 27 years, I lived in Austin, Texas, and for 27 years, I wanted to move home to my hometown. And my husband just came in and made a face at me. And when I finally got to go home, I got to move from Austin back to my hometown, which is a little town called Conroe. You've never heard of it. It's near Houston. And I finally got to move home. It was because my life had fallen apart. I mean, crashed and burned. It was horrible. It was dark days, but I got to go home. So that was me pulling. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And at the same time going, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. Because I'm looking at all this evidence that I've been here for 27 years and I don't deserve to move home. So I got to move home, but it was in a really difficult way. Same kind of thing. I've been needing a new car. Been wanting a new car. Been putting off getting a new car. Oh, car wreck. Car's totaled. Guess what? That actually, as I talk about this, I realize that that actually happened to me years ago. I was in a wreck that totaled my car, and I got a new car, and I had been needing to do that because my engine on the car that got wrecked was all full of gunk, and I was going to burn up the engine before too long. So that's kind of interesting that I chose that message. That must have been subconscious. The other thing, another blessing or good thing or wanted thing that could come out of this car wreck, for example, is you might meet somebody special. You might make a new friend, the person who hit you, or the tow truck driver, or the trooper who comes to the scene of the accident. You might be able to help somebody. What about that? What if somebody in the other car is hurt and you go and you help them? The opportunity to be of service should not be ignored or dismissed. So there are a lot of good things that can come out of creating Dookie, settling for the same old Dookie. But wouldn't you feel better if you manifested what you really liked in a good way and could say, yay, this is all great, and still get the message and still meet the new person, right? I mean, what if the person you're supposed to meet in the car wreck, you could have met that person on the new car lot? Do you see what I'm saying? All right, so I've been blathering on about this for a while. I think you get the idea. I want to reiterate, go to that link in the description of this video and sign up for the Hypnomagic meditation training tomorrow, because it's on Wednesday the 18th at 6 p.m. Central, and you don't want to miss it. It's going to be held, I'm going to do it here on a Facebook group. It's a private group, and you have to register for the deal to get signed up. So go ahead and do that, and I'll give you more information about it, whatever you need to know. Be sure and ask questions, whether it's about settling for the same old Dookie or whatever it is that you want to know about training and the program and the making magic, okay? Let me know. I'll come back here and answer your questions. Thanks so much. Until next time, remember, I'm Mojo Medium, and you are worthy in all ways